Hello and welcome to the Bus Hollman Show, Series 2, not 1.5, 2, Series 2, two full fingers, I want to put two full fingers up, Series 2, Episode 5, not 4.5, 5. Welcome to the Bus Hollman Show. Hey, don't forget we're on YouTube now, so you can watch this shit, how it all happens on YouTube. Just type in the Bus Hollman Show and it'll all be there for you. We're also on Spotify and Apple. Now, remember, Bus Hollman Show is a show that talks about absolute shit that you and your mate would talk about in the pub if you're charged up, but are too frightened to say in public. I will say it, because I don't give a fuck. We're going to have all our usual segments today. Our craft beer segment, our hamburger challenge, what's pissing Bus up, what's pissing Bus off. Golfers this week. Golfers are pissing Bus off big time this week. We've got some random shit, NRL, obviously, Origins on this week, Women's Origins on tonight. Geez, I tell you what, my footy tipping's going. You got me on last week. Last week I think I had one winner last week, I did. I'm trying to find what it was. If I have to find it. Anyway, I had one winner, paid $6.50 last, Akadaka, something like that might have been. And I had a fourth, okay. Hey, Bus's top 5. Get this, Bus's top 5 this week, OnlyFans girls. That's Bus's top 5 OnlyFans girls that he follows. I don't care if you know that I follow them. I follow them. I like to see what they're fucking doing. I like to see what's going on each week. How many of you motherfuckers out there? No, I've jumped ahead of myself. This week's craft beer, I jumped ahead because I'm fucking thirsty. Been fucking working hard. So this week's craft beer, now I've got put onto a beer. It's called Tradie. And a heap of blokes have tipped me off onto it and said that I should get on to Tradie beer. So I went in a couple of days ago to get the Tradie beer because I was going to give that a go. And something caught my eye, and when I show you, you'll know why. Because I've always been a big fan of fucking pirates. And so I walked into the bottle shop the other day, and there it was, right there. Pirate Life Brewing. I know fuck all about it. It's a pale ale, 4.4% alcohol. I think I read it was from South Australia, out in the South Australian plains. A couple of boys out there started it up, and we're going to give a go at it here. Doesn't say much about it. Pirate Life. Fuck! As soon as I seen it, I said, Bus, you got to get some of that shit. Our Pirate Life will get you going. So I'm probably going to do the Tradie beer next week. I'll get onto the Tradie beer next week. So there we go. Oh, I headed him again. She's a bit thick. She's got that low fucking crooked brown fence look about it. Light coloured crooked brown fence. You haven't painted it in about 10 years. It goes a little bit dull. Oh, I can smell. Oh, not overly fruity, but a little bit fruity. I can taste the fucking salt bushes from out on the Adelaide plains. Let's give it a go, boys. Pirate Life beer. It's all right. I'll take it. It's the first one, and it's all right. Remember, we've got stars. 5-star system. 1 star, I will not have it again. It's not more than that. 2 stars, I would drink it if I was in a crowd to fit in. 3 stars, yeah, I'd order that again. 4 stars, if I get 4 stars, it's a type of beer where you went for a Saturday sesh or a Sunday sesh, you'd actually drink it, you'd have a session on it. 5 stars, we haven't had a 5-star yet, but I'll tell you what, that first one I had, the Traveller beer. That's the closest to a 5-star I've had so far. But if it gets a 5-star, it means, yeah, Bubba. Charlie Pride fucking coming on blaring. Anybody going to San Antonio, Richfield, Arizona? So, no one's had a 5, but that's a good start. I like that. What were we talking about there before? Anyway, we'll move on to this week's games. Righto, we'll move on to last week's games. Like I said, run over them. Women's Origin on tonight too. New South Wales leading 1-0. New South Wales in Sydney tonight. I think we can do it. I think we can take back the series and win tonight. I know that it's extra ratings and they want to do it to get more viewers, but wouldn't it be a brilliant fucking night if you had the women's game on Origin before the men's game? You don't get many of that anymore. Remember you used to get... I remember years ago they used to play the police game. I think it was New South Wales Police versus Queensland Police. That was a regular fixture before Origin. And they used to just erupt into some of the biggest brawls you'd ever fucking seen. And hard fucking football. A lot of coppers are good fucking footballers. A lot of coppers were bad footballers too. They thought they were good fucking footballers. But them State of Origin police games before, they were something special. So I've gone for another pirate beer. Gone for another pirate. There he is there, if you're looking for him. He's all right. I tell you, he's... Yeah. He's going all right. But I've been working hard too. I deserve a beer. Dolphins got up over Para. Fucking took Para. A bad week last week, tipping. I think I lost the first 4, won the last 4. Titans over Newcastle. I don't know. I get the feeling they need a change there. I get the feeling Pongia's... He's got to wake up in the morning, Pongia, when he's not in the toilet with someone. In the toilet. No, he was sick in the toilet. That's what he was. He don't want to be there. He just don't want to be there. And old mate they got coming from Parramatta next year, I don't think he's going to solve the problems. Newcastle really struggling. Rabbitohs up over the Broncos. Now, you talk about a side that's not fucking performing. The Broncos, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. That hard edge, and that hard edge that Maguire's supposed to bring to him this season, he ain't getting the buy-in from the players. I'm telling you right now, he ain't getting the fucking buy-in. Young fella these days, they're too fucking soft. They can't take a little bit of hard fucking stuff. Now, you've got to tell me, and it's where a few of the journalists are really pissing me off, where they're going on about Maguire's not hard and Maguire... What, you don't think fucking Craig Bellamy's not hard? You don't... Trent Robinson's not hard? You don't think Ivan Cleary's not hard? You don't hear their footballers fucking whinging about it, do you? No. You're only whinging because you're getting fucking beaten, you're not having a go. Too many princesses too many show ponies in the Broncos. That's what I'll say. Warriors 15 over the Dragons 14. That was a tough game. It wasn't a good game, but it was a tough game. I hope Flandry gets them around. Tell you what, talk about a game of ups and downs. Cowboys and Penrith, 30-all draw. Ooh, Penrith are really cutting it fine now to turn it around. The Storm 64 over the Tigers. I'm so sorry, Krusty Trump, but I don't know where you go to from fucking here. And that's not a beating, that's a fucking old school flogging. And they were never in it. They weren't committed. So when a side goes that bad, you've got to look at the coach and think, he's not getting them up for it. He's not, because every cunt can tackle. You've got to put your body in front of some cunt. And I watched a few of those Storm tries. And mate, I'm telling you, them West Tigers players, some of them just turned around looking at them go past like, they were looking like it was a woman walking past in a short skirt and a G-string. Looking straight up instead of putting the shoulder in and making a fucking tackle. And then the Sharks too good for the fucking... I'll tell you what, Sharks 30 over the Eagles 14. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'll be 100% honest with you. I don't want DC to go to the Roosters. I don't think we need him. I don't think we fucking want him. But saying that, there's been a lot of speculation about should he retire from Origin. I think he should. With the money that he's been paid from Manly, he does owe them something. And I think it's affecting his game. I think it's affecting the club's game. And then if he just say he does play and then they get beat, everyone's going to be... The whole story, do you pick him again? That's the whole story. He'll own the story. But that's what he might want. I get the feeling he likes the attention a little bit, DCE. You go back, Cameron Smith, Thurston, Cooper Cronk, right back to Andrew Eddinghouse. A lot of these players in the last couple of years of their career, they stood down from representative football to try and get a grand final victory for their club. And what does DCE think he's better than a few of those players I just mentioned? I don't know. What's Bus been up to? I'll tell you what Bus has been up to. Footy's back in full swing, so I've been up to Austinville and Ballina a couple of times watching the boys play some rugby, good quality rugby up there. Austinville's undefeated at the moment and some good quality rugby being played up there. So I've been up to watch that a few times. Had lunch the other day at the Lawrence Tavern where I done my hamburger challenge. I just thought I'd go somewhere a little bit different to get it out and was all right. Bit of fishing. We've been fishing under the Harwood Bridge, just in a little spot I got there. It's only fucking catfish. You might catch a lazy brim here and there, but the river's fucked. And the swell for the last probably 2 or 3 weeks has been a little bit too big. And so I haven't been able to get out through the heads. So the fishing's been fucked. I've got a little report from the boys out west how the rivers are going out there, but no, the fishing's not fucking good at all actually, but doing a lot of working. We had a couple of big Sunday sessions the last couple of weeks too, and been going pretty good on the punt, I've got to be fucking honest and tell you. I did duck over to 10 Mile Beach during the week and took a couple of surf rods over there, but the swell was too big coming in and it was a westerly blowing straight into my face, so couldn't get much of a purchase on any of the casts to get out there. Yeah, watching the fucking rain coming down has been a lot of it. I played golf. I went and played I'm a senior now, so I played in the over 55s 9-hole comp at Yamba and nearly had a blue with some cunt that probably should have been in the over 85s fucking class because he pissed me off that long. Now, if you've got buggies, you should be able to get around in 9-hole comp, 4 blokes, 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours. 4 hours. 4 hours for a 9-hole comp. Tell you about it later. Obviously, that's what's pissing Bus off. Politics, I don't know. I don't know where the Liberals go to from here, but I'm disappointed on a few things. I'm really disappointed in journalists that are supposed to be independent and how they pander to the Labor side of politics. Now, I don't care how much of a hardened fucking Labor Party voter you are, but some of the lies some of the lies they were just continually telling, and I'm sorry, but that cunt Albo, he looked you straight in the fucking eye, pissed down your back and tell you it's raining. Oh, that's my favourite saying to my old man. He'll piss down your back and tell you it's raining. That's how much of a liar that cunt is. And the journalists just never call him out. I heard one or two, Mark Levy on 2GB, and there's a bloke on Sky too, a real good bloke I like, called him out on his lies about cutting Medicare. But no one ever said they were cutting Medicare. The $600 billion for nuclear, that was never ever a figure. And they just ran with these lies. So I suppose I can also say that I'm so pissed off with the Australian public that they don't look into this. Now, I challenge people because I love to have a discussion. But when you ask people, when you say to people, and I did this a lot leading up to the election, I would do it at smoke, I'd do it at my lunch break, I'd do it at blokes at the bait and tackle shop, at the pub, because I love to have the conversation. It's what thrills me. But I'd ask them if they were voting, why are you voting for Labor? I said, because Dutton's got to cut back Medicare and we're getting old and we can't. No, he's not. That's a lie. You're not going to go, he wants to go into nuclear energy and our power prices will go up even higher because of 600 million. And I said, no, that's a lie. That's a lie. And then the other one was that they keep saying, he's too much like Trump. And I would say, how? How is he too much like Trump? He wants to cut immigration. I said, no, he don't want to cut immigration. He wants to cut immigration back. So all these poor homeless cunts in Australia that are living under cardboard boxes and under fucking bridges, sleeping in a fucking ripped tent, so they've got somewhere to fucking stay. Don't you care about your fellow Australians? No, you don't. Because if you did, you would fucking study and read about it. Fair dinkum. Journalists have got to start asking tough questions. They've got to talk about what we care about. We don't give a fuck what sort of dog Albo got. We don't give a fuck about his wedding. We don't give a fuck about a lot of things. But we give a fuck about high fuel prices and high grocery prices and high fucking petrol price, high power, because it's affecting us motherfuckers. But why ain't they pushing that? Why ain't they getting them stuck? And have you noticed now these politicians, they just won't fucking answer a question. They just won't answer a question. Here's what I do, my journalist. I'd say, okay, how much is your policy going to cost? I don't care what it is. Well, they'd say, oh, we've got to look into this and the amount of thing there. We go, no. How much is it going to cost? Give me a figure. They won't give you a figure. They won't give you an answer on fucking anything. We've got to be smarter than this. We have got to be so much smarter than this. I even heard, I'll go back to what I thought about Trump. I heard a couple of Labor politicians making speeches and saying, Dutton's bringing Trumpian politics into Australia. What do they mean by that? What is it? Because when Trump was asked after the election about who was the leader of the opposition, he said, I don't know. He knows Albo. Oh, but you forgot about that. Oh, and Albo also knows the Chinese. Different story, Chucky. We'll get into that later, the fucking Murrumbidgee Mauler. Ah, Jesus. And we're still going down that path of believing that what we do in Australia, the fucking carbon and the fucking solar and all that, the warming the planet, we're sending our country broke thinking that we can make a difference when China, India, America, when they're just doing what the fuck they want. And we think we can make a fucking difference. No, we got to be smarter than this. We got to be fucking so much smarter than this. I'll tell you what. Let's get right into what's pissing Bus off. So, tell you what's pissing Bus off this week. Played golf in over 55s comp the other day. Played with 3 blokes. Look at them dogs running around. You see them? You can see them on the camp. The little cunts. And what I hate about old fellas playing, not all, you cut! Not all old fellas, a lot of young fellas do. The way they fuck around with their swing. We played with a fella the other day, and I'm telling you no word of a lie, every shot took 2 minutes that he had. Now that's, you might think I was 2 minutes, now that's a fucking long time to have a shot. So that's just, from the time he stands over his ball, he would have had 10 practice swings. And then when they get behind it and they do the little whoop, like they're going to hit it, but they don't hit it. Like they're going to, and the little, wait, then look up. How many times you look up the fucking fairway? You know you've got to hit the cunt straight at the middle of the fairway. So why do you got to keep looking up there? Just hit the cunt at the middle. You don't have to keep looking. The fairway's not going to change. You got to hit the fucking thing straight down the middle. And when you got a par 3, you got to hit the cunt on the green. You know where the green is. Why do you got to keep looking up? Put your head down and hit the fucking ball. It's getting a little bit infuriating. And I'm going to be... If I draw this old cunt again, there's a big chance he could be fucking cartwheeled. He could be just nudged. Because I reckon he'll go over pretty easy. He's a little bit top heavy like me. But I think he could be fucking nudged. It actually spoiled my fucking day. It actually spoiled my day playing with this old cunt. Fair fucking dinkum. Oh, that's it. Let's get on to punting, eh? The punting and fishing report. Cool Archie won last week for me, paying $6.50. Racing again this week, and I'm going to tip him again this week, Cool Archie. And then Shangri-La Spring run 4th. So if you got on to Cool Archie, my big tip last week, $6.50, good little pickup. So we'll get on to this week's tips. So we're going to stay up in Queensland, up in Dubin this Saturday. Now, there's a great race called the Spirit of Boom Classic. Now, I'm a big Boom man follower. I love the horses. I remember right back in the day when I used to follow Spirit of Boom, and had a couple of huge big wins on that. And I was first tipped onto Spirit of Boom by a young lady called Kieran. And she put me onto the Boom and said, what's this young fella coming up? And I certainly didn't. And yeah, got a little bit off him, and I've been following a couple of his foals, and they've been going really well. So I'm stuck in this race. So I wanted to keep following Cool Archie. Sorry, the Spirit of Boom Classic's over 1,200 metres. So it's for 2-year-olds, and it's a Group 2 race. Cool Archie had the big win for us there a couple of weeks ago. They're going to get him about $10 this week, so big chance. But at the same time, I love this horse, United States, number 7. James McDonald on board, trained by Waller. McDonald and Waller, mate, you don't get much better than that. Now, currently it's about $10 also. So I know I usually pick a winner, and if I had to pick one of them, I'd actually go United States, number 7, race 5, number 7 at Doomben, United States. But, don't expect Cool Archie going for 3 wins in a row to have a really big outing on this one here. The second tip for the day is race 7, the Magic Millions Bright Shadow over 1,100 metres at Doomben. Great little race. I love the racing up in. I love Queensland racing. I think Queensland racing is just so good. And boys, I'm going to tell you what. I'm a favourite. No, I'm not a favourite picker, but I just can't see anyone coming near the favourite in this. Number 2, In Flight. Jay Collett's on board with 58 kilos, trained by Priority. I think it's been knocking on the door, close to a win for a few weeks. It's had 2 seconds in a row, so it's definitely thereabouts. It's definitely stripped fit, and it's really in a winnable race here. If you needed to top him up, needed to double your money, I'd definitely jump on In Flight. It's my golden tip of the week. Mate, if it don't win, I'll walk fucking naked backward from here to Shark Bay. I'll tell you that right now. Get on board. They're my 2 tips for the week. They've been going well. We'll get into the footy, not the footy, we'll get into the Pirates going on fucking, we'll have another beer, and then we'll get into the fishing report. Now, the fishing hasn't been fucking brilliant. I've got to be honest, it's fucking, the river up here, the Clarence, the mighty Clarence, probably been flooding for, God, it's probably been flooding for about a fucking month. So the fresh water's pushed right down to the heads. All they're catching down there is fucking catfish. Talking to a few of the people where I work, and it's some of the worst fishing they've ever fucking seen. There was an incident the other day, by the way, at a place where I work with a black lacy bra. And I can't go into too much detail, so you'll have to follow me up, because I can't talk about it on the pod. But there was an incident with a black lacy bra, which reminded me of a story. And I was telling the people at work at lunch the other day about this thing that happened back in Bundertown. And I get the feeling when I tell these stories to people, they look at me and they say, that can't happen. That can't be true. And I see it in their eyes, and I'm thinking, you cunts got no idea how mad these fellas out there in Bundertown are. Like, it's still a Wild West out there. Some of the shit they do out there. Anyway, I was telling me mate Pete the Greek, I call him, Pete the Greek. I was telling me mate Pete the Greek about, we were having lunch around now I can't tell you who the tradie is, and I won't tell you what trade he's in, for obvious reasons, which will become obvious when I tell you. But he's still a tradie in Bundertown. I will give you that, he's still a tradie in Bundertown. But we're talking about women's bras and knickers. And I was explaining how that bloke who ever invented the G-string, I want to buy that kind of beer. Same as the bloke who invented lycra shorts, the little lycra shorts. And then they've got these new ones now that have the pockets on the back and they scrunch up at the top. Ooh, I should have that kind of meal. I should have him a candle like that cunt. Needs to be congratulated. Anyway, that's what got me thinking about this time with old mate the tradie in Burke. So we're around having a fucking few beers in his shed, fucking having a fucking cone, fucking telling some fucking stories. And anyway, he said to the boy, I forget it. Oh, I think it was the Freckle. I think he said to the Freckle. He said, Freckle, go over there and have a look at that second drawer on the toolbox. So he walked over and pulled out a second drawer, and it was full of knickers. There was lacy ones, there was G-strings, they had all different colours. There were ones that had no crotch in them. He had 30 or 40 pairs. So anyway, you got to remember we was a bit charged and a bit stoned by this time. So then he said, no, sorry, I said to him, I said, well, what do you keep all your missus pants down here for? He said, no, they're not my missus. I said, what? He said, no, he said, I actually get these. And he also said, don't tell any cunt, too late now. He said, I get these from all the houses I go to work in. He said, I'll always go and pinch a pair of pants from the person's house, the lady that's staying in there. We said, what? He said, yeah, he said, I've been doing it for years, stealing pants out of the fucking cupboards, off the line, out of the washing machine. He said, I'll just take them. He had 50 fucking pairs. 50 pairs of fucking... What do? You must wrap them around your knob and have a frig? I don't know. But then we laughed and fucking joked and spun out and called him a dirty cunt and all that there. And anyway, it was like a couple of days later, we're at the pub, we're having a yarn, me and another bloke that were there in the shed when this happened. And we were joking, saying, nah, this cunny dirty, this cunny stealing pants from fucking women's houses. Then all of a sudden, it's like we both looked at each other and then the light bulb went off in our head. And we realised that motherfucker's been working at our houses too. He'd probably been to my house 20 fucking times. And the bloke I drink with, he'd been to his house 20 fucking times. So you see what I'm saying? He got my missus' pants. The dirty cunt. The dirty, knicker, stealing, sniffing cunt. He good bloke, though. Order at Pirate, going down wrong. So, there's been the odd muddies caught, still, which is surprising, even with the dirty water pushing all the way down to the heads at Yamba. So, been still getting the odd muddies. I was going to give them a big go this week, but the rain's still been fucking coming down, so I'll probably run some traps this week. I think I will. On a positive, there've been some good mackerel getting caught in close within the fucking 500 to 1 kilometre mark off the heads. But again, it's just been too big. The swell's been 3 to 4 foot and wind blowing for the last fucking 2 or 3 weeks. I haven't been able to get out. I have been told the blokes have been putting their boats in down around Broom's Head and getting down to Freeman's Rock. I've been getting a heap of snapper down there. So I want to get down there and start getting into some snapper as soon as it clears up a bit. The fishing in Lake Walla hasn't been brilliant. There's been the odd flatty, but again, it's just gone right off. It's just, the fishing, it's the worst. I've been up here 14 months now, it's the worst. And I've been coming up here for 25 years, and it's the worst fishing I've ever seen. So, what's fishing out west? The Colgoa cowboy out there still got his net in the Darling. He's got it down on the big bend where the gum tree is, and he's still getting 8 to 10 fucking good yellow belly a day. Crooked Tooth Bart, he did have a net in until he broke the wire trying to pull it up. Now, God knows where that cunt is tangled up in the bottom of the river. Probably catching fucking fish. Them fucking boys from fisheries need to get onto them fellas out there, I can tell you right now. At the Macquarie in Dubbo, no, boys haven't been fishing there. It's real low apparently, and stopped running, which has put the fish off. They'll come on again real soon. They'll only go off for a while, and then they'll come back on real soon. So the Paru Pirate hasn't been out. The Macquarie River Bandit down in Narromine, I think he fished last week but went no good. The fishing's been bad all over the state. Hopefully things will turn around really good, really soon. So let's move along to our hamburger challenge. And as I said, I got down to the Lawrence Tavern during the week for my hamburger challenge. Now, Lawrence Tavern, had to catch a barge to get across. It's at a place called Lawrence. Got a beautiful little 9-hole golf course there too that I've had one go at. I'm going to play it a little bit more. But went over to the Lawrence Tavern, and it weren't bad. Had a couple of Great Northerns, which they had on tap there. So the beer was good. Not a big variety of beers, but a beautiful little riverside hotel. So, now, hamburger with chips. Okay. Now, it was a double beef patty. Patty was homemade. Always a good place to start as a homemade. And it was that old fashioned burger. And sometimes you just can't beat that there. onion, egg and bacon. And this is not with the lot, this is just how it comes out, just with your order hamburger and chips. So we had the homemade patty with onion. Bang, right there you got to start. Then we had bacon, egg, lettuce, beetroot, and pineapple. Now, that's a works burger, right there. But it's just a normal burger off the menu. But that's a works burger, right there. You can't beat that there. Now, that had a little bit of cheddar cheese on it. And what I liked about this is they had a relish. It was like a pickle relish. Weren't pickle, weren't relish. It was like a green tomato relish, and then a little bit of barbecue sauce. On a Turkish roll, which was the only downfall. I liked it. I had one there a while ago that made their own buns. Giddy up. On a Turkish roll. But that's a good fucking burger. I'd have that cunt every day of the week. Now, let's go through it. Great Lawrence Tavern, great little fucking... Tell you what, the burgers are a lot better than the schnitzels, because motherfuckers can't cook a fucking schnitzel. I'll tell you now. The only other thing is, I haven't been to any flash places yet to have a hamburger, because I went to a couple of flash places that had chicken schnitzels, and I'm telling you now, their schnitzels were fucking disgraceful. Remember that place that I went with up there on that big river up there near fucking Sydney, the McLaurin, that real big cunt there. I went up there near Umina, and they had this big flash pub on the fucking ocean. Oh, it was fucking big, $12 beers. And I think the schnitzel was like $32, worst schnitzel I've ever had, $32. Worst fucking, that fucking carrot and lettuce that a rabbit ate and fucking left over. So I'm interested to see how these flash places do in hamburger. Anyway, let's get back to it, Lawrence Tavern. Now the price is $22, heaps of chips, fill me up. I never needed an extra. I had enough chips and I had enough hamburger. For $22, giddy up. That's all right. That's an 8 out of 10. The presentation, hamburger, chips were well seasoned and cooked. Again, I just don't like it on Turkish bread. But I'm still going to give it a 7 out of 10. The size, as I said, I never needed a little side dish. I never needed a bonus. Another 7 out of 10. The taste, hard to fault. Like, not brilliant. Like, not, I'm going to ring up my mates and say, go there and have it. But the taste, I couldn't fault it. There was nothing wrong with it at all. 8 out of 10. The hamburger experience. I'm at the Lawrence Tavern, overlooking the Clarence River. Great little atmosphere. The hamburger experience, 7 out of 10. Gives it a grand total of 37 out of 50. Giddy up. We'll go there again. Let's move on now to the ones you've all been waiting for. Bus's top 5 OnlyFans girls. Now, all you motherfuckers out there, I know you all fucking go through them and you see all these OnlyFans girls and you're all too frightened to fucking follow them and you're all too frightened to have the direct debit show up on your fucking bank statement and all. I don't give a fuck. Because I want to follow you. I'm just following to support them. Some of them need the money. They need to sustain their lifestyle. So that's all. I'm doing a community service here. So I spend a bit of time following the different ones on social media and through OnlyFans. So I've come up with my top 5, and they're in order, with number 1 being the best, okay? And there's a few others there that I'll chuck in at the end that are a worthy mention, okay? But let's start off with number 5. This is Bus's top 5 OnlyFans girls. Number 5. A girl called J. Lee Tory. She's an Aussie girl from Western Australia. She's in a 4-wheel drive. Travelling around Australia. Big tits. Put that out there right from the start. Drives a little fucking Land Cruiser ute. She's just had it all done up. Travelling around Australia, getting different experiences and having a good time with herself and a couple of her female friends. J. Lee Tory, that's number 5. Coming in at number 4, a lady called Indianara Jung. Now, Indianara Jung she's from Brazil. She's a fitness model. She's obviously had a boob job. Of course, you could put fucking cup of tea sitting on top of those, cunt. Remember last week I was talking about coat hangers? I'll tell you now, motherfuckers, you put 5, 6 coat hangers off the end and nipples, right, straight off the end of them, you'd hang them, and a cup of tea sitting on top with the little saucepan. The little thing, you put the cup of tea in that little saucepan thing, you sit the cup of tea, sit straight on top of titty, they stick out there. Indianara Jung. Yeah, big fan of hers. Now my number 3, good Aussie girl, Farmer Bella. Farmer Bella, I think it's Farmer Bella 25 or 225. Now she's Aussie girl from Queensland, got a farm up there. She's got to pay for that farm, she's got to feed the animals. She drives a lot of tractors. She does a lot of things in those tractors. She does a lot of things in the milking shed and in the horse shed and on the 4-wheel motorbike and just on the grass. She does it fucking everywhere. Farmer Bella, big fan of hers. Number two, look at this girl, number 2. Name is Aussie Susie. Now Aussie Susie is what you'd call a gilf grandmother. A gilf, I think. She's probably 60. She's definitely had them in her hands. She lives on the Gold Coast. She does. Travels around a bit. Lives a great lifestyle and needs people like me to follow her to play for that lifestyle and to pay for her big house, which is obviously on the canals on the Gold Coast. Now, Aussie Susie really enjoys herself. She enjoys herself with some of her female friends and some of her male friends. And her husband gets a little look in every now and then. Aussie Susie coming in at number 2. Now, number 1, I thought long and hard about this. Really long and hard about this. And I'm afraid I couldn't split my number 1s. But it's a combined number 1. So, my dead heat for number 1 in OnlyFans models is a girl called... Okay, first one is a girl called Miss Mia Fit. Now, Miss Mia Fit's from Denmark. Now, I started following Miss Mia Fit when she was just a naked model. She was like a fitness model. Did a lot of training, a lot of power lifting, and lifted weights. Sometimes naked, sometimes not. But I was watching the weights of what she was lifting, checking on her form, making sure she had good technique. Now, she has come a long way in that area, and she gets me. I just want to tell you straight. She fucking gets me. Miss Mia Fit, you need to check her out. From Denmark, check it out. And my equal favourite, I don't know how many, but there's fucking 4 of them. The Coffee Girls. Now, the Coffee Girls are originally from Brisbane. Now I think they live all up and down the North Coast. Some in Sydney, some in Brisbane. But they're 4 sisters. No, but these are genuine sisters. They've all got big titties. All of them. Oh, I've never seen the mum. I just wonder what the mum must look like. But the 4 of them, Ellie Jean, Holly, Bonnie and Ruby. Ellie Jean, Holly, Bonnie and Ruby. The Coffee Girls. You've got to check them out. Now, they were actually all surfer girls, which got me following because one of them was pretty good. I think it was Ellie Jean, was pretty good. Like, she got up in the top 5 in Australian women surfers. And obviously, they wanted to experience more of what happened in the world, do a little bit of travelling, a little bit of surfing, so they needed an income. And they started OnlyFans. Started off as just a nude model. Now, they really enjoyed themselves. They enjoyed themselves on boats, on pool decks. They sometimes enjoy themselves with each other. Not explicit with each other, but in the same room. They enjoy themselves. One of them actually, I think it was Ellie Jean, had a bit of a thing going with another girl called Renee Gracie, a former Bathurst fucking supercar driver, who now also has an OnlyFans page. So they've come full circle. Now they really enjoy themselves. So they're my top 5 OnlyFans models. Check them out. Number 5, J. Lee Torrey. She's only new to the scene, but check her out. Number 4 is Indiana Jung. Number 3 is Farmer Bella. Number 2 is Aussie Susie. And number 1 is split between all the coffee girls and Miss Mia Fit. Some honourable mentions. I've got to give a few honourable mentions. Aussie Angels, check them out. 2 girls, they need a lot of support. They're travelling around Australia, a lot of beach stuff. They just need the support. Booty and the Beast, a little red-haired Texan girl with this big motherfucker weightlifter. Nurse Jessie. Nurse Jessie should be Fireman Jessie because she can put out a fire 20 fucking feet away. You know what I'm talking about. Right there. A fisherman, a lady fisherman called Collie Jens. Follow her. She does a lot of fishing, and one day she's gonna get pricked by a fin. I tell you now, she could have scales get stuck in places that they shouldn't be. Collie Jens, you got to follow her. And if you want to laugh, and also a little thing, there's a couple called Brandy and Billy, who actually I started following them because they were just funny. They did little skits. But now they've gone into OnlyFans because they wanted cars. They needed to buy more cars. It's funny, they all have the same... When you follow them for a while, they all have the same type of thing. They start off, what they say, I'm just doing it for a little bit of fun. And you watch around and they've got an old fucking beat up car. And I'm only just doing it for fun. I'm not going to show too explicit. Just like a little nipple, just like that little nipple. I might show my bum. That's it. Then you fast forward 2 years later, shit's getting real. They doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing, stuff they shouldn't be telling their parents about, and stuff that, boys, if you got caught watching in your lounge room, you need to explain to do. And they all have the same thing, because you can see how they have to outdo each other to get more followers and more money coming in. Good on them. That's their job. No problem with that at all. A lot of men do it too. There's someone for everyone. There's someone for everyone. Would I do it? Yeah, I probably fucking would. Surely there was someone looking for a fucking little stubby fat fella with a wrinkly buddoo and a fucking... though he's clean. It mightn't be the best party you'll go to, but you'll fucking remember going there, I can tell you that. There's someone for everyone. The Pirate Beer, I'm going to give it a rating in a minute. It's going down well. Ooh, I can smell the fucking saltbush off them Adelaide plains. I should have got onto the Macquarie River Bandit, because he's big Adelaide, man. Big fucking knows everything. Anything that happens in South Australia, Adelaide, he knows about it. I wonder if he knows about this Pirate Beer. I'll give you a holler. Fucking Macquarie Bandit. No, what's his name? See, this is what happened when you fucking full strength beer. I'm fucked. Yeah, it's alright now. Righto. Some random shit. Just one bit of random shit. I'll tell you a spin out little story. We had a bike handed into work the other day. Now it's one of those old fashioned woman's bike. Around, very popular now, with the big wheels and the basket on the front. And I took a photo of it, and a lady's put a sign on the front of it, and it's called the Town Bike. And the sign, I think the sign says something like, the Town Bike, you may ride me whenever you want, but please return me here so everyone else can have a ride. Think about it. And they park it in a little, there's a little, like a little roundabout garden type of thing in Yamba, and it gets parked there, and people just get it and go for a ride and bring it back and park it there. And the connotations that you could come up with riding the Town Bike is just, it just still pisses me laughing. But it's a great idea, and it's got the whole community talking. That's just a little bit of random shit that we're talking about. I'll tell you what, the basketball playoffs are in fucking full swings. Celtics beat the Knicks and will go through. The Pacers beat the Cavs 4-1 and they'll go fucking through. Game 6 in the other division with Nuggets and Thunder tomorrow. Timberwolves lead the Warriors 3-1 in their playoff series. Thunder lead the Nuggets 3-2 in their series. It'll go down to a game 7 there. And Minnesota wins theirs against the Warriors. So the Warriors knocked out early. So that's going off right at the moment. The baseball is really starting to kick. I don't really start watching the baseball till halfway through the season when everyone's set in and they're really enjoyable to watch. But the Red Sox have fallen off the pace. New York Yankees are really kicking on with 25 wins, and the Blue Jays have taken over the Red Sox. That's my favourite division. That's why I always talk about that there. Detroit is leading the AL Central with 29 wins, and they're probably leading the comp with that many wins. The Mariners are leading the AL West over the Houston Astros. I'm a big Astros fan. The Mets, the Mets, everyone's on the Mets at the moment, playing really good baseball at the moment with 28 wins so far. And the Cubbies are coming home strong with 25 wins in the NL Central. And of course the Dodgers are leading the NL West. Dodgers probably one of the best sides in the last 10 years and haven't dropped off the pace at all. 28 wins, so they're going fucking really strong. So we've got Women's Origin on tonight, Thursday, the 15th of May. So New South Wales can win tonight and lock up the series, which I think they will. I actually think they fucking will. Then we've got, I'm going to finish off with my Origin team, by the way. Bus's New South Wales Origin team. I'm not going to give you the Queensland because I don't give a fuck about the Queensland Origin team. Okay? I'm only going to give you my New South Wales because I don't give a fuck who they pick. Because they'll always say they've got to be underdogs and they'll always say they're struggling. Oh, the whinging fucking cane-toed cunts. I'm over them. But the women's game tonight, I think New South Wales can get up and win that one there. They had a convincing victory up there in the season opener at Suncorp Stadium, and I think they're on the cusp of securing their first State of Origin Shield. Since the series expanded to now a 3-game series, and one of the best things that could have happened to Women's Rugby League is the Origin going out to a 3-game series. I think New South Wales coach John Strange can come up with a win tonight and give the Origin trophy to the New South Wales side. So let's get into this week's games, which kick off tomorrow night. And tomorrow night we've got the first game to kick off. The Knights versus the Eels. I think the Eels can cause an upset there. Eels are paying $2 and the Knights $1.80. But I think the Eels can cause an upset. The Bulldogs and the Roosters. Actually, I tell you what, I reckon it's good money, the Roosters, $2.80. But I'm here to pick winners. I think the Roosters might struggle to beat the Bulldogs. The Dolphins over the Warriors. I think the Warriors... Oh, this is going to be a fucking good game, this one. I think the Warriors. Cowboys and Seagulls. I think the Cowboys up in Queensland at the Country Bank Stadium, Townsville. Cowboys too strong. Sharks and Storm. Jesus, this is going to see where the Sharks are. This will see where the Sharks are. I think the Storm will do them, but it's a test. The Broncos against the Dragons. And the Broncos are paying $1.29 to beat the Dragon. Now, I'd jump on the fucking Dragon. Look, you would think that the Broncos will kick back, but every time you think a side's going to kick back, they fucking don't. They're really struggling up there in Bronco territory. Don't be surprised if the Dragons... Remember the Dragons only got beat by a point last week against the Warriors, wasn't it? A point against the Warriors last week. So don't be fucking... don't write the Dragons off in that game. I'll tip the Broncos, but don't write them off. Raiders over the Titans. Ricky will get the boys back firing. And the Tigers over the Tigers against the Rabbits. I'd probably edge the Rabbits in a tight one. See what sort of coach Benji is, whether he can get them back. So that's the Tigers. Then we got Origin next week. The Tigers will be picked, and then she's played the following week. So before we get on to what Bus is up to. So this is my New South Wales Origin side for game 1. Okay, I think Dylan Edwards holds his spot narrowly, fucking narrowly, over Tedesco. Unless... A lot of these positions, by the way, will come down to this weekend's game. So if Teddy has a blinder and Dylan Edwards doesn't, not a blinder, but he's only got to play, Teddy could sneak in. But I would stick with Dylan Edwards. I truly would. I think the wingers, one of them will definitely be Brian To'o, and I think Zach Lomax will get the other wing spot. I think if he just comes through this weekend's game and plays all right, as long as he doesn't have a fucking shocker, but if he just plays all right, I think Zach Lomax. Now, if he doesn't, Jacob Kraz. Jacob Kraz has shown enough that he can handle that. Yeah. But I still think if Zach Lomax can have... He was New South Wales' best player. I don't fuck what to say. He was New South Wales' best player last year. He deserves a spot. Now, the half and 5'8", a lot of contentious. And I tell you what, it could all change with Parramatta's game this weekend. It could all change. It's one of the few Origin teams where it's going to go down to the last round of games before they're announced to see who's going to make it. But at this stage, my half and 5'8" is Cleary at half and Jerome Luai at 5'8". I'm going for a front row of Payne Haas and Liam Martin. I'm going to have Angus Crichton and Isaiah Yeo in the side with Reece Robertson at hooker. And I'm going to give my debut card to Big Terrell May in the other front row spot. Now, Big T May has had a blinder of a season so far. Still can't get my head around the Roosters letting him go. But to his credit, the young man has really kicked on and shown so much potential. And I think thoroughly deserves his first Origin cap. So my 4 reserves then will be, and this is where it gets... I think this is where we could get Queensland. Our bench should be Connor Watson. Obviously, he had been killing for the Roosters and played brilliantly for New South Wales last year. And then you got Hudson Young, Mitch Barnett and Spencer Luai. Lemieux. That's a fucking magic bench. That's a magic bench. So let's go. Dylan Edwards, Brian To'o, Stephen Crichton and Tom Trbojevic in the centres. I fucking forgot them. I mean, come on, them two. Stephen Crichton and Tom Trbojevic. Look, I know a lot of people are going to say Trill Mitt should be in there, and I just think if Tommy Turbo has a big game, he could get the spot in front of if Trill. Now, see, and the reason I say this is why I tell you this, because Terrell needs to back his games up. Terrell needs to have 2 in a row. Because what he did last week, we can all see him do that. But he's got to do it 2 weeks in a row. Now, if he has a shocker this week, he definitely not much. But if Terrell Mitt has a game like he did last week, if he has one this week, he could take Tommy's job. And unfortunately, I don't think Tommy should be on the wing. I don't think he is a winger. I think it's a bad mistake putting him on the wing. If Terrell Mitt has a blind, don't be surprised if Terrell Mitt gets in the side. Luai and Cleary in the 3 quarters, Terrell May and Payne Haas front row, Reece Robertson hooker, Angus Crichton and Liam Martin in the back row with Isaiah Yeo and also the captain at lock, Connor Watson, Hudson Young, Mitch Barnett and Spencer Lemieux. That would be my magic bench. I think you can't go wrong with a bench like that there. So that's my Origin side for game 1. So, Jesus, tell you what, it's marvelous when I'm starting to even go through the players now. I think that it's all going to come down to this one last round to see how it's all going to pan out. So anyway, that's the Bus Hollman Show for Series 2, Episode 5. Remember, money don't make you happy. Better put big titties on your wife. Woo, and buy you a big boat. Okay? Chicks dig scars. Pain goes away and glory lasts forever. Hey, remember you can get me on YouTube where you can watch all this shit and how I do it. And I'm also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Giddy up. Have a good one. See you all next week.